A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a dramatic escalation of civil unrest, police in Turkey's capital, Istanbul, have resorted to the use of pepper spray, plastic pellets, and water cannons against protesters early Thursday morning. This confrontation marks a significant moment in what has become the largest anti-government demonstrations the country has witnessed in over a decade. The protests erupted last week following the controversial arrest of Istanbul Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu, a prominent political rival to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan. İmamoğlu is currently facing corruption charges that many observers believe are politically motivated, alongside accusations of supporting terrorism. The Turkish government maintains that the judiciary operates independently. However, critics argue that the evidence against İmamoğlu relies heavily on secret witnesses, casting doubt on its legitimacy. The situation intensified as student demonstrators attempted to march and deliver a statement near the gates of Middle East Technical University. They were met with a heavy police presence, which deployed crowd control measures including pepper spray and water cannons. A tense standoff ensued, with students taking refuge behind barricades made of dumpsters. Millet Merrick, a legislator from İmamoğlu's Republican People's Party, CHP, was seen in distress after being exposed to pepper spray and soaking wet from police water cannons. In a statement shared on social media, Merrick lamented, "My student friends only wanted to make a press statement, but the police strictly did not allow it. This is the result." Interior Minister Ali Yerkekaya reported that nearly 1,900 individuals have been arrested over the past 8 days amidst the protests that have swept across Turkey. He specified that 1,879 suspects were detained, with 260 currently jailed pending trial. Additionally, 468 individuals have been released under judicial control while their cases are ongoing, and proceedings are still active for 662 others. While some of those arrested face charges related to drug offenses and assault, many have been detained for resisting police or violating protest bans. The protests have seen participation from hundreds of thousands of people, largely peaceful, with significant gatherings occurring outside Istanbul City Hall and in districts such as Kadıköy and Sicily. However, the atmosphere has been marred by violence, as police have frequently used tear gas and water cannons to disperse crowds in cities where protests have been banned, including Istanbul, Ankara, and Izmir. In a continued crackdown, police have been executing house raids targeting individuals believed to be involved in the protests. Most of those detained appear to be members of left-wing parties, trade unions, and civil society organizations. The Media and Law Studies Association reported that 11 journalists were arrested while covering the protests, with several facing charges related to their reporting. Notably, BBC reporter Mark Lowen was deported from Turkey after being detained for 17 hours, described by the broadcaster as a threat to public order. The arrest of İmamoğlu occurred during a dawn raid at his home last Wednesday, leading to his remand in prison. He faces charges stemming from 2 investigations into the Istanbul Metropolitan Municipality, one focused on corruption and the other alleging support for terrorism. As a leading challenger to Erdogan in the upcoming presidential elections, which are currently scheduled for 2028 but may occur sooner, İmamoğlu's political future hangs in the balance. Justice Minister Yilmaz Tunç disclosed that 106 individuals have been arrested in relation to the municipal investigations, with 51 currently in jail pending trial, including İmamoğlu himself. Those detained include municipal officials and business figures facing serious allegations such as bribery and extortion. The case against İmamoğlu is widely viewed as politically motivated, with many protesters taking to the streets to voice their opposition against what they perceive as Turkey's democratic backsliding and increasing authoritarian rule. Compounded by a dire economic situation, the day İmamoğlu was imprisoned, he was confirmed as the CHP candidate for the presidential elections, reflecting his significant popularity and the potential threat he poses to Erdogan's administration. His victory in the 2019 mayoral election, which was a considerable setback for Erdogan, further underscores the stakes involved in the current political climate. As the situation develops, the international community watches closely, with concerns growing over human rights violations and the suppression of dissent in Turkey. With protests likely to continue, the Turkish government's response will be critical in shaping the future of civil liberties and democratic governance in the country. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.